Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay. I wanted to talk a little bit about an important topic going on in the world today, and that is the oppression of the Uyghur minority in China. China, as many people know, is a communist country, which means they allow no religion whatsoever. But two of the groups that bear most of their oppression and their vitriol is the Muslim minority, which are known as the Uyghurs. They live to the west, the western part of China on the border with Central Asia. They are known as the Uyghurs or um, the Chinese Turks, Chinese Turkestanis. Um, and of course the Christian minority. But for the Muslims, um, they have different customs, obviously, than most mainstream Chinese. Um, the Chinese call this province Ninjiang province, by the way, but Muslims have different customs than the ordinary Chinese. They don't eat pork, pork is a staple diet of most Han Chinese people, which is the majority of the Chinese population. Their women wear hijabs. I don't know if they wear the full niqab like in Saudi Arabia, but they wear hijabs. Many people know hijab, the scarf, and they marry within their own ethnic group. And because of this, the Chinese government, under the leadership of Xi Jinping, who was buddy buddies with Donald Trump and buddy buddy with the United States government, has sent um, the Muslim people to concentration camps, similar to the concentration camps that that existed in the 1930s and 40s in Germany and Eastern Europe for the Jewish population. And these concentration camps were built by the Chinese government with your American dollars, your Disney dollars. Um, Disney recently expanded into Shanghai, China's largest city, and into Hong Kong, another large city, and has been doing business um, with China for about 5 or 6 years now. And um, China is the biggest market to Chinese, to American movies. This is why they say The Last Jedi didn't do good because um, it had John Boyega on the cover, and China hates black people, but apparently they just don't hate black people. They apparently hate Muslims as well. So basically, Disney has been using your money, your American dollars that you pay for the Disney Plus channel, and to watch the Disney movies and the Star Wars movies and the Marvel movies, to oppress and to commit genocide in our own time against the Uyghur people. This is nothing new for the Chinese communists. They have done this in the past with Tibet. They've done this in the past with Mongolians and other ethnic minorities. But again, this group, the Uyghurs in the Ninjing province, Chinese Turkestan, they stand out more because they're Muslims. You know what I mean? They wear specific Muslim clothing. They have specific Muslim minhag customs. You know, and for the Christian population as well. are being put into these camps. And no one is saying anything about it. No one is speaking about it. And you know me, guys, when I see a population around the world that is oppressed, a population around the world that is marginalized, and a population around the world that is in need of our prayers, in need of our help, in particularly the Muslim population, because I have a strong affinity for the Muslim people. I love Islam. I love the Muslim people. I consider them my brothers and my sisters. You know what I mean? So I always speak it out. I have a video on my channel speaking about the Dominican oppression of Haitians. A video speaking out about um, when Sudan was oppressing its black population back in the day, and Mauritania was oppressing its black population. And I speak about um, African American oppression here in the United States with Black Lives Matter. So what I'm saying, I'm not saying to cancel the Disney Plus app or anything. I'm just saying think about the hypocrisy of Disney and Lucasfilm. Recently, they fired Gina Carano, who was who portrayed the part of Cara Dune on The Mandalorian, for speaking her mind, and they said that it was anti woke and that it was transphobic and stuff. Meanwhile, they're supposed to be for human rights and liberty and for the rights of all people, yet they are supporting Disney is a regime that is killing off millions of people, putting them in concentration camps, and systematically raping women. So they have no right to speak on Gina Carano expressing her views on current politics here in the United States when they themselves are supporters of autocratic regimes and murderous and barbarian regimes. So they want to silence Gina Carano. Well, what if Gina Carano were to speak on this? You know, the comparison that she made, that the Republicans would be treated like Jews in Nazi Germany. I mean, how far off different is the treatment of these Uyghurs to the way Jews were treated in Nazi Germany? And Disney and Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm, they co-signed it. You know what I mean? So they have no right, they have no leg to stand on when it comes to advocating for human rights. Zero leg to stand on when it comes to advocating for human rights. It's bullshit. And that's my opinion of the Gina Carano situation. It's like Disney wants to get all moralistic because Gina Carano said some tweets. But hell, look what they're doing. Look what they're behind. They're behind genocide. They're behind mass murder of a whole ethnic group and a whole religious group of people, the Uyghurs. You know what I mean? So spare me the moralism, Disney. And it got me to thinking too how the oppression of the Uyghurs, just like the oppression last year in Burma of Muslims, um, when the Rangoon people um, in northern Burma were oppressed, another Muslim group, everybody stood silent. You know what I mean? So when a Muslim group is getting oppressed, people stay silent. But when a Muslim group is oppressing another group of people, as long as that group of people isn't black, like say the Yazidis, people people are up in arms about it. But if a Muslim group themselves is getting oppressed, nobody says anything, unless that. Um, you know what I'm saying? See the hypocrisy? I said this. I have a video on this from way back in the day. Um, when the day of the San Bernardino shooting, I said, how come they never covered Al Shabaab shooting in that Kenyan mall? How come they never covered the rise of Islamic extremism in northern um, Nigeria? They covered it to some extent, but not to the extent that it should have, because it happened in sub-Saharan Africa, and they don't care about Black lives. Um, so um, Disney's hypocrisy in regards to Gina Carano. Fuck Disney and the hypocrisy. I'm glad Gina Carano's moving on. But this got me to thinking how on the last day of Black History Month, how this is related to the oppression of Black people here in the United States. When a group is marginalized and a group is has their rights and their citizenships taken away, and they're brutalized by the government, and indeed the United States government are allies with the Chinese government, even though they purport to represent different ideologies. They're complete allies, and they're completely complicit in the oppression of people. It's just like what happened in Black History Month. Well, if we remember, because of Carter G. Woodson's achievements, starting off with Negro History Week and then going into Black History Month, we remember the sacrifices of African Americans. But you got to remember too that it's not only African Americans who suffer and who are marginalized. I feel like African American people are in a brotherhood with all people that are marginalized and all people that are oppressed. So, and that's why Barack Obama is one of my um, favorite heroes in Black history, because he stood up against those who are marginalized and those who are oppressed in other parts of the world. But as soon as he got out of office, Trump came in and he was again allies with the Chinese Communist government. Anyway, guys, peace. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Love you.